Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and CheapGunsUSA.com, and you are watching Marksman TV. Welcome back to another gun store vlog. Sorry it's been a minute since I've had one of these up for you guys. I try and get out about one a week, but sometimes I can't keep up with it. Hopefully I will not be as busy today and I can get this vlog up for you guys. But let's go ahead through just some sort of the general stuff we've been up to. Also, question of the week I got, and this is actually a pretty good question, and the question is, in this day and age with the internet and everything, how do gun stores stay alive? How do they stay in business? How do they compete? I will at least give you my perception to that question, but that'll be coming up now. Okay, so something a little new and different that we actually have not had in a while is a little PS90. These are pretty interesting and would make a really cool candidate for SBRing. Now, of course, you have to have the 16-inch barrel on here, which kind of defeats the purpose of the little P90 or PS90. You can SBR them, all NFA rules which would apply. Now, this is actually a barrel shroud, so you would actually have to cut this off. It's actually a pretty intense process, so keep that in mind, but actually really cool. The funny thing is these are really tough to get new. I got one of these on the shelf, and then I had a customer of mine bring in a used one like 3 days later. So I had two of these, a new one and a used one. The used one's already spoken for though. As I mentioned in the last vlog, I get in M1s a lot. I sold that H&R, I had the Springfield up here, and I got in another Springfield. This one was made in 1944. It has an H&R bolt carrier, national match op rod, was rebarreled in 1966. No importation marks, has a CMP stock on it, but overall, excellent condition, a great shooter. Has kind of the later stamped trigger guard, but these are, of course, M1s. Like I said, we get these in with pretty relative frequency, so we must have a lot of them floating around here. We got in a collection of 6 of them about a year ago, and those are all really nice from the same seller. Use-wise, we've been getting in a lot of Glocks, so gosh, I've gotten in probably 6 or 7 Glocks in about the past week. Some of them have sold. Our used guns do sell here very quickly. We have a Facebook page, and whenever we get in used firearms, we put them up on our Facebook page with a price, and people locally come in and buy them pretty quickly. It's one of our biggest sort of the things that we kind of, what am I trying to say? It's the what we are really known for around here. People love to come in for our used guns and our used gun prices. Keep in mind, I know a lot of you watching this are not local. It's kind of the used stuff. We kind of let the local buyers come in and kind of have first dibs. After it's been on our site for a week, we do allow people to pay with credit cards. We will ship and all that sort of thing too. But if you're interested in that, or you're an Indiana resident, go check out our Facebook page. I'll leave a link down in the description. You can see all the kind of stuff we get in. It's pretty cool. We get in used guns all the time. We get in probably at least a few a day. For the most part, I mean, sometimes we're a little slow, but that's usually about right, is a couple a day, and we do post them up on our Facebook page. Just some interesting things from the back. So this is an old, kind of a pre-Sendero in 220 Swift by Remington 700. We did have a Sendero in here on the channel before, but this is these are actually really well made. This is the VSSF varmint synthetic stainless fluted. So of course this is one of those used ones that we got in. Now I got in a pair of these Belgian made A5s. This is the Magnum with a 32-inch barrel. The other one I had did already sell. This one we actually just listed online, so it's probably going to go pretty soon. And an Enfield number 4 Mark 1T sniper rifle with, it does have a reproduction scope and mount on it, but the rifle itself is an original number 4 Mark 1T sniper rifle. Various markings would prove that on the gun. This one has actually sold as well, just waiting for it to ship. And I know I've done a lot of AK videos lately, but this is another cool one. These you don't see too often anymore. This is a Saiga and 545 by 39. Now these came in with, they sort of had the Monte Carlo stock, no pistol grip. The trigger group would have been back here, and it could not accept the standard AK-47 or 74 magazines. And so what companies did, like this was a RWC group, what they would do is they brought them in and then converted the rear end. Some would convert just the rear end, some would convert both the front and the rear, or some would just sell them as is. But like 5 or 6 years ago, you could get the unconverted gun on sale online for like $200 or $300. And now this is a partial conversion. So the back end's been converted by putting on a standard stock, by moving the trigger group forward, putting on a pistol grip, and then putting in a bullet guide to allow for standard magazines. Now the front end, as you can see, is very sporterized. It's not threaded. Has a sort of a very elongated, different looking gas tube, and has the sporter stock on it. All right, so that's sort of the type of things we've been up to. Also, we just put in huge orders for more accessories, ammunition, parts, firearms, as we are getting through the end of October. November and December are big kind of holiday shopping season period, so we expect to be really busy and have a lot of people in here. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch of new stuff for people who come in to look at and see and hopefully purchase. So that'll be coming up too, and maybe in our next vlog I'll be able to show you guys a lot of what we got in. But moving through that into the question of the week, and that is, how do gun stores, brick and mortar, mom and pop, small gun stores like mine, how do we stay in business in the era of the internet? Sort of like how other small brick and mortar stores are staying busy in the era of Amazon. So we'll kind of go into that. So talking about other industries, Amazon has been a huge disruptor in sort of brick and mortar retail. Now, fortunately for us, Amazon has not gotten into the firearms space yet, which of course is a little bit difficult for a lot of people to get into because of the FFL requirements, and also because firearms are a big political issue, and I think that is something that Amazon is going to stay away from probably indefinitely, or maybe it's just something they'll move into in the future, but only time will tell on that. Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is sort of, I think, more interested in capitalizing on all markets, but that's kind of another topic. So where does that leave retail today? Well, firearm purchasing on the internet is actually sort of a relatively new phenomenon. It really, in my opinion and in my observation, hasn't really been a thing or really picked up since about maybe 8 to 10 years ago, but definitely within about the past 5 years. It's really when it has ramped up. It's true, you get a lot of advantages with purchasing online. Like I talked about in the last vlog, or question of the week on that vlog was, do gun transfers piss off your gun dealer? So what you have to do, obviously, is go online, find the firearm you want, purchase it, you select the dealer you want it shipped to because they cannot ship it to your door. You go into your gun store, you fill out a 4473 background check, you pay a transfer fee, which is usually anywhere from $15 to $35. Is pretty normal. There are a lot of people who will charge $50, $60, even $70 to do transfers. 15 to 35 in that range. We charge 25 per firearm. So again, if you make a purchase online, if it's new to you, contact your dealer and ask them what their transfer fee is. And there's that. The cost or purchasing online has been a very cost-effective way of doing things. So you wonder, well, what's the purpose then of buying in a store? Well, actually for us, when we first opened, we did a huge amount of gun transfers, but now here in 2018, we really haven't been doing that many in comparison to the firearms we're actually just selling generically out of our inventory. There's a lot of reasons for that. The way we price structure our new inventory is very, very, very low. Our margins are razor thin on new inventory. So really, if you are saving money online, at least, and this is just our store, everybody's different, but if you're saving money online, it's usually just a few dollars. And usually we can offset that by saying, well, you actually get to see the firearm you're purchasing before you come in and pick it up. If you have an issue, for example, online, in most cases, the kind of the rule of thumb is online is once you've completed the transfer, once you take the gun home, it is your problem. So, of course, if you open the firearm and inspect it, and you find a big scratch on the stock, or obviously like the trigger's not working, or parts are falling out of it, of course, you as a buyer have an option to refuse transfer of that firearm. In most cases, even some sellers online won't even let you send it back in that case, but most of them do. You can say, okay, I'm not going to take this home. I'm going to contact them, have the online retailer send my dealer a return label, and then we'll send it back, and they can either send me a replacement or a refund. But if that usually helps you with cosmetic issues, if there is an issue in terms of its functionality, that is not going to help you. You get it out on the gun range and it doesn't work, they're not going to help you. But keep in mind, most new firearms are covered under warranty, so you will have to go through the process of contacting the manufacturer, getting it sent to them, and then having it returned. If you go through a gun store is going to charge you a transfer fee for that because they have to go through handling it for you, probably in both directions actually. So you do get to save the risk of that sort of thing happening by just purchasing. Like our customers, if you have an issue, we will not replace it, but we will take care of handling, sending it back to the manufacturer, getting it repaired, and then getting it back to you without any type of transfer fees or anything like that. Now, the other thing is most retailers, myself included, even though we're a small store, most of us are online in some capacity. That's selling on GunBroker. That's like we have cheapgunsusa.com as our online retail site. So we sell to the national market as well and to other states. So that's another thing we kind of have to do to sort of delve in different markets as well. So that's sort of an avenue that a lot of retailers take. Or maybe they don't have a retail space, but they sell on Arms List or they sell on GunBroker. So to some capacity, most brick and mortar stores are selling to a national market. You don't have to have just a big online site and warehouse to be successful in the online marketplace. Remember, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, so even just by having a small straw in that market, it's plenty to really stay alive and to make a reasonable amount of money. Now, in most retail spaces like this, we're not getting rich, we're not making millions, we're making a reasonable income, to basically get by, and most importantly, people who run brick and mortar stores, we do what we love, and it's fun to get up in the morning and come deal in the firearm industry and make a reasonable income while we do it. One other note is the Supreme Court did just pass a ruling saying that states can now or will start collecting on sales tax. And that was usually one big advantage of buying online is you would save sales tax. And when you're talking about like a $15 screwdriver or something like that, the sales tax you save isn't huge, but most firearm purchases are in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So if you can save that sales tax, you're saving yourself quite a bit of money. However, since the new ruling, online retailers are going to have to start charging sales tax. A lot of states have already put this in place, I think 9 of them, including Indiana, which is where I am. In fact, I went on Classic Firearms and I wanted to buy one of their James River RPKs because they're kind of tough to come by. I went and added it to cart and saw that they were charging me sales tax, which is the first time I've seen that from a gun retailer. So I called them up and they confirmed, yes, in fact, we do have to start charging sales tax to residents in Indiana. And so, there is that. So that advantage of saving the sales tax is pretty much going to be gone moving forward for most of you in whatever state you're in, which basically means if the online retailer has the same price or even a little bit lower than your brick and mortar store, once you figure in shipping, if they charge shipping, once they figure in FFL fees, and then of course you're paying the sales tax anyway, it's going to stop being as competitive, which is actually a big edge for brick and mortar stores. But like I said, we have an online retail space too, so it's going to really hurt in that regard as well. So time will tell on that one. Another aspect of that is used firearms. So typically when you're going on a retail site, you're not seeing a whole lot in the way of used inventory, and a lot of brick and mortar stores do get the advantage of people locally bringing in used firearms, and of course local buyers want to come in and see that type of stuff because it's a good way to get a particular firearm you're interested in that might be lightly used but quite a bit less than when it goes for new. And what I see in my sort of observation is a lot of the used stuff we get in, people usually will buy a firearm, they'll put maybe a couple magazines through it, then let it sit and then never touch it again. So when you're buying a brand new firearm and after you take it to the range once or twice, your firearm is then in the condition of what we see as the condition of most used guns. They're all in very good condition generally, for the most part. And I know here a big thing that we deal in is used. That's what a lot of our customers in the local area love to come in and see. And like I said, we post them up on our Facebook page. But that's the type of stuff too that's going to carry a lot of brick and mortar stores. It's a sort of used and different oddball inventory you're just not going to find online. And then finally, the other big advantage is the personality or the people that you do business with inside gun stores. You tend to create a relationship. I've built so many friendships and relationships with my customers in here that are just amazing. A lot of the people that come in here are just, pretty much most of the people that come in here are just incredible people that I see on a regular basis who just like the experience of coming in and purchasing a fire. It's like going in and paying $5 for a coffee at a coffee shop because you get the experience as opposed to making it at home for 50 cents. So there is a market for that, and what I'm speaking to in this question is people who might be interested in starting a gun store but think, well, it's pointless because there's online, and obviously everybody's just going to buy online. Statistics
Ralph, I don't know where you're getting your statistics.
Statistics just came out that showed actually overall retail consumption online, this is across all industries, is only at about 10%. And I would venture a guess to say it's actually less than that for the gun market. So there are still a ton of people purchasing in brick and mortar stores. With the changes in the tax laws, I believe that that's actually going to be increasing. And as long as you are competitive on your pricing and you offer a good value for people to come into your store, good customer service, you know, honestly, more people will buy or shop with you than shop online, which again has been our experience. So competitive pricing, friendly and useful customer service, having a good inventory, and just being somebody that your customers can trust, that's what keeps a gun store alive in today's internet market. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking this out. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please go ahead and leave us a like or comment down below if you want to ask us a question for our question of the week in our next vlog. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Again, I am Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and CheapGunsUSA.com in Westfield, Indiana. You are watching Marksman TV. I will see you next time.